welcome back. This is lesson 2. So what we're going to do in this lesson is we're going to take a look at the formula unique, and we're also going to talk about how the dollar sign is useful. And what we're going to do today is create a large test bank and then draw like multiple questions from that. So I'll show you how that's done. So I have my blank sheet here from Google Sheets, and I'm only going to do like the hidden one. So I'm not going to show you how to make all 3 because I did that in lesson 1. So this would just be the part that you would hide then eventually. Now, do you have to hide it? No, of course you don't. I just like to hide mine because I don't like to see that mess. And when I go to print, it's just more streamlined. Okay, so our bank of questions. So I'm going to number the problems. Oh, this would be the number, the problem, and the answer. Again, you could do this for any subject, any level. And let's make 8 problems today. Now, if you're making a large test bank, question bank, I don't think 8 is very large. You might want to keep going there, depending on how many problems you're going to put into your assessment, your test generator. So I'm going to keep this simple just so I can get problems up here quickly. So this is probably the part that would take the most time is, making your problems, putting them in here. Okay, there they are. So now, again, we're going to use that random between function, and this time I'm picking a number from 1 to 8. And it's 1 to however big your test bank is. And now I'm going to copy this a bunch of times, and I'm going to go pretty far here. I'm going to go more than 8 because I could have repeats. So I'm going all the way down near 50, no big deal. Go as far as you want. And now I can't just, let's say I'm going to put 4 questions in my test generator that are based on this type of problem. So my first 4 questions I want to come from this test bank. It is possible that I would have a repeat in the first 4. Like, look here, so 4 and 4 would show up twice. I don't want the same problem to happen. So this is where the formula unique comes in. So we're going to do equals unique, and I'm just going to highlight all of these. So hopefully all 8 of my numbers showed up at least once. And it really doesn't matter because if I'm going with 4, I at least need 4. So what it does is it looks through the list, and if it has never seen it before, it puts it over here. So you can see now here 8 is a repeat, so it's going to skip that and put the 1. And then 1's a repeat, so it's going to skip that and put the 2. All right. So now, since I would be making 4, I'm just going to highlight this for myself. Like, those would be the 4 problems I want. And now we're going to use that ifs formula like we used before. So here, I'm going to grab the problem. So this will be the problem, and this will be the answer. So this will end up being problem 1 on my test once I transfer it over, but you saw how to do that in lesson 1. So this equals ifs, this cell is 1, then take this problem. Otherwise, if this cell is equal to 2, then take this problem. So we're just going to go through this all the way up to 8 equals 3. If it equals 4, if it equals 5, and I honestly do talk out loud to myself as I do this because I find that I'm less likely to lose track of what I'm doing. Okay, so let me just have that here in the formula bar in case you need it yet. All right, So now what I want to do is I really don't want to keep typing that whole thing over and over again. So let's see here. I'm going to copy this, if it lets me. And I'm going to put it here. Now, obviously, that's not what I want. I want the answer, which is in column C, and it's grabbing everything from column B. So what I'm going to do is just go through and change all the B's to C's. So now it's grabbing the answer instead of the problem. There we go. All right. So now I would like to just copy this down, but what it's going to do, like here, I want it to, like if it equals 1, it's going to grab this problem. But if I copy it down here, if it equals 1, it's going to accidentally grab this problem, and I don't want that. I want it to grab this one. So I need it to keep where the B's are. So what you're going to do is after every B is put the $sign. And that means it won't change what cell it's grabbing. Like it won't shift it down. So after each B, put a $sign. And now, I should have shown you what would happen if you didn't. I'll do that on the answer part. There, and then we can, when you're here, you just grab this bottom right corner and click and drag it down. And now you can see it works out. And the way I made the problems, it's easy to see. The 8th problem is this, the 6th problem is that, and so on. So now if I come over here, if I don't put the $signs in, watch what happens when I click and drag this. Well, I didn't go all the way down. But see, it's saying 3 plus 3 is 10 and 2 plus 2 is 6, and obviously that's not correct. So that's why we have to put the $signs in. So here, I'm going to put the $signs in after the C because I don't want it to shift down. There we go. So I'll put that back up. So after each C, it's C $3. Then C $4. And when we didn't do that, what it did is when we copied and dragged, it made it a C4 here in this cell. And then for the next one, it started at C5, so that was no good. All right, there we go. So this, you would just do the equal sign onto your test to grab these. And if we just pick a blank cell here and hit delete, you can see that we're never going to get any repeats in those 4 problems. They would be 4 unique problems, hence the formula unique. All right, I hope lesson 2 was helpful if you wanted to make a larger test bank, and we'll see you in lesson 3.